Hello Algebra 2 students, section 10-1 right angle trigonometry. Trigonometry is the part of mathematics that focuses on studying the relationship of angles and sides in a triangle. One of the basic concepts of trigonometry is called the trigonometric ratios or the trigonometric functions. To understand the trigonometric ratios, take this triangle. It's a right triangle with acute angle theta. This angle is acute angle and we name it theta. The two sides of this triangle, the two legs are 3 and 4, and the hypotenuse is 5. The hypotenuse is opposite to the right angle and it's the longest side in the triangle. The first trigonometric ratio is sine theta. Sine theta is a trigonometric ratio. It's the ratio of the opposite over hypotenuse. If you apply this on this triangle, on this given triangle, sine theta, the opposite is 4 and the hypotenuse is 5. So the ratio sine theta in this triangle is 4 over 5. The second trigonometric ratio is called cosine theta. Cosine theta is defined by the ratio adjacent over hypotenuse. So when you find the ratio of adjacent over hypotenuse, this is cosine theta. In this triangle, the adjacent side to the angle theta is 3 and the hypotenuse is 5, so cosine theta is equal to 3 over 5. The last basic trigonometric ratio is called tangent theta. Tangent theta is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. In this triangle, the opposite of angle theta is 4, the adjacent is 3, so the ratio is equal to 4 over 3. In example number 1, we need to find the value of sine, cosine, and tangent functions for the acute angle theta. Here is our acute angle theta, and we given a right triangle. Guys, this is a right angle trigonometry, so everything today inside a right triangle. The sides of this triangle are given. The two legs are 7 and 24 and the hypotenuse is 25. In relation to angle theta, 7 is the opposite, 24 is the adjacent, and 25 is the hypotenuse, because hypotenuse is always opposite to the right angle. We need to find sine theta first. Sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite of angle theta is 7 and the hypotenuse is 25, and the ratio is in the simplest form. Cosine theta definition is adjacent over hypotenuse. The adjacent of angle theta is 24 and the hypotenuse is 25, so the ratio is equal to 24 over 25. Finally, tan theta is equal to opposite over adjacent of angle theta. The opposite of angle theta is equal to 7, the adjacent is 24, and the ratio is also in the simplest form. Guys, you will frequently need to determine the value of some famous trigonometric ratios in special right triangles. In geometry, you studied two types of special right triangles, the 30-60-90 triangle and the 45-45-90 triangle. You need to memorize the following famous trigonometric ratio. Sine 30 is equal to half and cosine 30 is equal to square root of 3 over 2. Tan 30 equals 1 over square root of 3 in the rational form, square root of 3 over 3. And if you notice, guys, there is opposite relationship between angle 30 and angle 60. So sine 60 is equal to square root of 3 over 2. This is exactly cosine 30. And cosine 60 is equal to sine 30, both equal half. And tan 60 is equal to the square root of 3. Another special right triangle, the 45, 45, 90. Sine 45 is equal to cosine 45. Both of them equal square root of 2 over 2. Or 1 over square root of 2. Tan 45 is equal to 1. Example number 2. We're going to use the trigonometric functions in order to find a missing side lengths. In this given triangle, guys, it's a right triangle, and our theta, the acute angle, is 30 degrees. It's given to us this time. And also we given the hypotenuse of this triangle, it's 74, and we need to find the length of this leg. This leg is the opposite to angle 30, and we have the hypotenuse is given. And guys, our job is to find a trigonometric function that relates the opposite to the hypotenuse. You ask yourself, what trigonometric ratio relates the opposite to the hypotenuse? Exactly, it's sine 30. So we can write our equation. Sine 30 is equal to the opposite x over the hypotenuse 74. Okay, guys. Now sine 30, if you memorize sine 30, it's equal to half. Substitute sine 30. It's a trigonometric ratio. Is equal to x over 74. Now guys, we can perform cross multiplication in order to find the value of that side. So 2x equals 74. If you divide both sides by 2, you will get the value of x. So x is going to be half of 74. This is exactly 37. So it's going to be 37. So the side length is 37. So sometimes we use trigonometric ratio to find a side length, a missing side length. Example number 3, it's a sports application. In a water skiing competition, a jump ram, guys, this is a jump ram, this is the water level, and this is the height of jump ram. A jump ram has a measurement shown. This is the measurement. So 19 feet is the length of the jump ram. H is the height from the level of the water. And this acute angle, this angle between the ram itself and the level of the water is 15.1 degrees. What do we need? To the nearest foot, what is the height h? We're looking for that height. What is the height h above the water that a skier leaves the ram? So our job is to find the opposite of the angle 15.1. Guys, what trigonometric ratio can be used to help us in order to estimate this height? We given the length of the ram, which is the hypotenuse of this right triangle, and we need the opposite. The trigonometric function that relates opposite and the hypotenuse is sine. So I'm gonna use sine. So sine theta, we can start with the formula. Sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Our theta is 15.1, so sine 15.1. We don't know what is sine 15.1, so we're going to use a calculator in order to evaluate this. The opposite is h, and the hypotenuse is 19. Guys, if you use a calculator, or we can delay using the calculator till the end, we can create a denominator to sine 15.1 degrees and do cross multiply. H times 1 is h. This is what we need, the height above the water level. H equals 19 times sine 15.1. Guys, you need to put this in the calculator in order. 19 times you hit sine 15.1, and the answer to the nearest foot gonna be about 5 foot. So the answer is 5 ft. So the height of this ram, guys, the height above the water is about 5 feet. This is the answer of that question. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Bye.